concerning police officer now recently my Bawumia and the team is share me be because of Bawumia camp and a massa warning a year and I will take revenge. Hey, and the answer sa and a massa catch the cruiser omusa ne year no Bawumia, ask your wife in common Afenyo-Markin DNA decision on take boom. Me you. Na adentina wo Samira ka kire Abronye am say omunjai intokoro mo start here no. Memo bi enjai. Nobody should stop. Samira Bawumia, no want any NPP person to stop talking about me and you. Don't stop anybody. I don't know one Abronye am so omunjai. Mama Kevin tell us mama Kevin but see adena wo won you men won you obia agro den tokwanie agro ne ko you ba Samira don't want anybody ben try won you obia what they have started let them complete it, let Abronye complete it because I want to complete it and I'll complete it. My catch now. Oh, do you remember my catch now? And you know what I know. And I am not going to let this slide because my man slide here. I might lose it, and I don't want to lose it. You have done your part. I will do my part, and it will hurt. The way you wanted it to hurt, I will let it hurt. Inti me catch. Don't want anybody to stop talking about me because undim dia why inti memo bianca Kevin tell us let them come, let them bring it on. Let Abronye bring it on because me per se I want them to bring it on. I will show you something. Mimi yo. Now just off on wedi. Meko off on wedi. Wo Samira. Now I'm in shower DB. You see this? Police officer with your friend Alex Mensah. Mahamudu Bawumia Asia or any team this year. Bawumia say, hey. They want to make this guy Bawumia's head of security. The campaign of Obestatino. They want to make Alex Mensah the head of security or Bawumia campaign. Yeah. I'll be telling you the reason why they want to use this man to do that job. You see, Bawumia, we didn't come out with police hierarchy esroho. And they have been feeding Bawumia with a lot of information. And IGP Yonu, the CID boss, you people should be very careful. Bawumia is going to make this guy his head of security. Bawumia is going to make this guy. They have already penetrated the Ghana Police Service, the top. And the IGP has no idea. The CID boss, they have no idea. They have started building their coup in the Ghana Police Service. This is the guy Bawumia is going to use. That is the plan. They had a meeting recently. And they want to use this guy as the head of Mahamudu Bawumia's security. He's going to be the head. Nobody should underestimate what Bawumia wants to do. And I'm sending a message to the IGP. This is not a joke. Me, I know more things. I'm sending this friendly message to the CID boss. You people should be on guard. They have now been able to get people in the police service. Recently, the police officer be the Inspector Chumesi, another criminal police officer. But I want the Ghana Police Service to understand. The IGP, then he needs to understand. The CID boss, they need to understand. This guy is the guy they are going to use. And the president should be listening. He needs to be very careful about his security. So Alex Mensah, they have had a meeting. Obaga Sameboa, Ebesi. Obaga Sameboa, Ebesi, Alex Mensah. Make nobody underestimate what I am saying. This is what they are going to do. This is the guy who is going to handle Bawumia's campaign, his security And this Alex guy, he's had a lot of conversations with some people in the Ghana Police Service on Warsaw, and they are falling in line. And Yonu has no idea. Those people are falling in line. And they have agreed to work with this guy. I'm going to leave it here. Obanyansafo Yebunibe. Okay. Now, this story, instead of importing steel from Asia or Europe, West Africa can source competitively. West Africa can source competitively from Ghana's manufacturer. Now, and then it said President Mahama, Alco Commission B5, right? B5 Omia Steel Company. And that is good. At least we are having some companies a few years ago, they almost went bankrupt. They almost collapsed in Ghana under Bawumia's leadership. All those companies today, private companies, they have been around for a long time now. They are now reviving. They are all now getting to the level all these companies are building up again. And B5 is one of those companies our system ni muache. And then a B5 bar Ghana. They have been in Ghana for a long time. For the past 8 years, they really struggled. They struggled so much because of NPP's interference in their work. Because Ekufuor and Bawumia, how they wanted to take over the company. But the owners of the company were resolute. Today, a good government, B5 company, a steel company, they are now up and running, and they are now manufacturing steel in large quantities. And our president Ghana for say, this company is going to employ direct and indirect. So many Ghanaians are going to be employed. And that he wish and he believes to say a time will come. Africa, majority of African countries are importing steel. And in Nadia, they build nations, you bet me at the attorney in our Africa, especially when we have a company like B5, or maybe a year, or company or Ghana, they are basically working and helping the economy. And I like this. I would like to tell the president, B5, Eisu smelters, almost so nane, a year steel near the day. Mr. President, it will be better for us to concentrate and focus on reviving Valco. Because if, as a nation, we can technically support a private entity to become this powerful, we should be able to support Valco to also become powerful in aluminium production. And the reason why B5 is powerful today in Ghana is because private investor B5 is powerful because the private investor is paying attention to details. The private investor is monitoring Nisikana Odia Shemuno. The private investor needs his investment back. So he is not paying, he's not playing around. The private investor is basically paying attention to the company. So if private investor has been able to put a lot into B5, monitored it to mature, turn B5 into a multi-million-dollar company to employ Ghanaians and foreigners, then we as a nation today should be ashamed of ourselves that we are still sitting here discussing how to revive Valco. If a private company can do this job, then it means when we allow investors to also invest in Valco, we can move Valco to the level of B5 or even bigger than B5. Because I know for a fact, Valco is bigger. Valco, when it comes to land size, is bigger. Valco, when it comes to production, is bigger. So why can't we also allow an investor, a strategic investor, to also invest in Valco? Because you are telling us that at a point, you wouldn't want African countries to go to Europe and Asia to bring in steel. The same way you don't want them to bring in aluminium. And if you have a company like Valco in Ghana, which is Ghanaian owned, Why are we still marking time on this Valco, opening it up for private investors to invest in Valco? Something isn't right. Somebody is doing us harm, Mr. President. And I want you to let us understand, why is Valco still where it is today? Because people have shown interest. Valco owes over $400 million. And your government doesn't have that money sitting under anybody's bed. Your government does not have $400 million sitting there. If you even go out there to borrow $450 million to invest in Valco, you are still going to pay interest, which at the end of the day is going to swallow you. And the investment is going to be of nothing. Somebody, an investor, is ready and willing to bring in over $450 million to revive Valco, to employ Ghanaians, to get Ghana going, and also produce for the local market. Why are we today so excited about B5? I have no problem with B5. I am happy we have a private company that is in Ghana, that is working in Ghana, that is employing Ghana, that is helping Ghana build. I'm very happy and I'm very excited about it. And I'm very happy you went there today to prove to Ghanaians and to the world that Ghana is open for business. And any legitimate business that is ready to employ Ghanaians and to build this nation, you are ready and willing to let them operate in Ghana. I am happy. But Mr. President, why can't we attach the same seriousness to operationalizing a Valco? What is happening? What is happening? Why can't we make Valco work? Why are we still sitting? What is this back and forth? What is this? Somebody's talking. Somebody's talking. There's no talking to be done again. We are supposed to be done with talking now. We are not supposed to be talking about who is. There are people on standby who are ready to put their money into Valco. They can employ over 10,000 people if Valco is managed well. We want to create job opportunities. We have young people in a lot of technical institutions who basically have the skill to work at Valco. So why are we today not seeing Valco as one of the avenues that we can create employment? By the end of this month, we should hear some news that Valco has gone into partnership with a private investor, a strategic investor who is willing to put their money into Valco. Because we don't have the money. We have no money. Mr. President, I know, we all know, this country, we are trying to make things work. We don't have $450 million sitting somewhere. And when they say $450 million, and not just the $450 million you need, there are other monies you need to add to it. There are miscellaneous monies. There's so much. At the end of the day, then you are going around $600 million. We don't have it. So when people are ready to come in, that should be our priority. I would have wished to say you commissioned or you opened Valco before opening B5. Yes, because B5, 90% of the money is going to an individual. But with Valco, because we have shares in it, every money that comes out of Valco with a strategic investor putting their money in, some comes to Ghana. And the good thing is that everything about Valco at the end of the day stays in Ghana. It's ours. So what is going on? If this strategic investor is going to take over Valco for 10 years, 15 years, at the end of the day, Ghana for at the end of the day, Ghana for Sebio, almost at the end of the day, we are going to produce for the local market. It's going to create more employment. That is what we need. Strategic investors. So, Mr. President, with all due respect, I saw you today, you were excited about this, but I feel as an Nkrumahist, you should be more excited about opening Valco than to being too excited about B5. So your excitement should be geared towards Valco. Mr. President, as an Nkrumahist who wants to continue the legacy of Kwame Nkrumah, who wants to make sure you sustain what Nkrumah started, who wants to build this nation from scratch, who wants to invest in production, I believe that opening Valco up, letting strategic investors involve themselves with Valco will be more prudent and more profitable to Ghanaians than anything else. With all due respect, I have no issues with B5. It's a good company. It's a company situated well. It's a company that is going to help Ghana. And I really respect them. But I just want to say this, Mr. President, the energy that you put in today to go commission Valco, Mr. President, put that same, to go commission B5, Mr. President, put that same energy and urgency in making sure this year, before June, Valco is operational. Mr. President, the energy that we have put into B5, which is very important, which is a very good company that is going to employ Ghanaians. I respect that. I applaud that. But that energy, you need to double that energy when it comes to Valco. Because Valco can produce more than B5. In Valco, basically, we invest better in Valco. So, Mr. President, by June, we should get strategic investors opening up Valco for the young people who are yearning for jobs. There are so many people who want jobs, Mr. President. You have an avenue to employ more Ghanaians. Why are we not exhausting the avenue? We have an avenue where Ghanaians can be employed easily. Why are we not, Mr. President, if we are able to put five companies together, Kwame Nkrumah companies, Ojano, yenya investors to come and invest in them, how many people will be employed in Ghana in your first term? In your first term, Mr. President, in just this your first term, if you are able to open all these companies and now your investors ebe take it over any Ghana for partner, how many young people will be employed in Ghana in your first term? Just in your first term. So, Mr. President, this should be strategic. Our main focus right now, our biggest problem in Ghana is employment. Let us try and get a lot of young people jobs. And Valco is a great opportunity. We don't have to misuse it. We need to focus on opening Valco up.